Hello and welcome to your MESE lesson. I'm Virginia. Today you're going to learn the what, the how, and the when of asking about transportation using how plus can plus verb. Let's start with what. What are these questions used for? They are used to ask about transportation. For example, how can I get to the mall from here? Good. Now, let's learn how. How do you use these questions? First, know how to conjugate how plus can. If you want to ask about yourself, please repeat, how can I? If you want to ask about me, how can you? If you want to ask about Parker, how can Parker? If you want to ask about Carly, how can Carly? If you want to ask about us, how can we? If you want to ask about them, how can they? Great! It's very important to memorize this conjugation fluently before you start practicing video B. Next, study your vocabulary. For example, how can I get into the city, get to the beach, go up to the mountains? Finally, to build a more specific question, you can use a time reference. For example, how can I get into the city now, later, tonight? Or a prepositional phrase. For example, how can I get into the city from here? In the morning, in a hurry. So, finally, when do you use these questions? You use these questions to ask for help when you need information about transportation. For example, how can I book a domestic flight? How can we find the subway station? How can we get a ferry to the islands? Great job! Now, let's review. First, what are how plus can plus verb questions used for? They are used to ask about transportation. Second, how do you use these questions? You use them by knowing the conjugation of how plus can plus verb and building a more specific question with the vocabulary. Third, when do you use these questions? You use these questions to ask for help when you need information about transportation. Well done! Let's move on to video B to really practice making your own questions. Remember to keep on reviewing your vocabulary. I'm Virginia. See you soon.